Hi, Darren.
Hiya.
Hi. Okay. Please explain. There's so many projects going on at Mapperton right now that I get lost in how many are happening. But can you, by the way, everybody, this is Darren. You've seen him before because he's our main stonemason. He's repaired the church tower, which is medieval. You repair everything here. The front of the house, the back of the house, the fountain court, the ponds, everything, don't you?
Yeah, we've touched on most of it.
We've touched on most of that.
Yeah.
So what my understanding was when I first was documenting this, it was a delivery truck ran into this, what do we call this?
Yeah, this would be the gate pier. Yeah.
The gate pier.
Yeah.
The gate pier. And the ball came off. And then the scaffolding came up. And then they were going to be able to get this half-ton ball on top. But now, what has happened? Because I didn't know, did we discover something else?
No, when they knocked the gate post and hit the ball, it pushed this column out of square. And obviously it was leaning over 3 inches. So to put the ball back on top and make it safe to stay there was near impossible. So it had to be took all the way down to the ground and built back up.
Oh my goodness.
Few problems we've had was the Victorians have been here before and put a load of cement in, so it didn't come apart very well.
Okay.
And there was no footing underneath it.
Oh, I can see that. And you've put that footing in.
And we've had to put a footing back in to make sure that it stays put.
Right.
Oh
my goodness.
And building it back up. So this one is going up level and true and plumb.
Yep.
Obviously the ones that are around here, if you look, they've all got a slight lean on them. But that's because they've not got a footing on them, I don't think.
I see. So they do have a slight lean. I see.
Yeah.
It's called the pier gate. I didn't even know that. I've
gate.
been here for 20 years. I had no idea.
Yeah. So basically what we've done is we've had to take it all the way down and then building it all the way back up. That's the concrete that I've took out. You see. And I will put in small pieces of stone.
Okay.
This is the bit that was a problem.
Was the bit that was a problem.
You see the Victorians in cement. So
right. So how old do we think that this pier gate is? Gate pier? Pier gate. How come I can't get this right?
There's a marking on the stone, which is 1846.
Oh, can I get a photo of that?
And that's the next one to go in. And by all accounts, Lord Sandwich said that's when the church was redone in 1846. So the gate piers have been around since then.
Since then, okay. Right. So where's that date? Can I have a little look? Yep. I'm obsessed with dates because yes. And is that going to be hidden, or are we going to be able to see that?
That basically, as you see that stone now, that's going to be coming across here.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. So this is a big project. I feel like this scaffolding it's been up for a month.
It's been up for a month,
Yeah, for sure.
And then obviously once we got this one up and the ball up, we're just going to check that one as well to make sure that...
The one that's above Stephen's head now?
And just while we got the scaffold here, we can do 2 jobs at once because obviously that one fell off quite easily.
Yes,
with a little bit of a gentle tap from a courier van.
Truck, yeah.
And so we're just going to check that one as well to make sure that doesn't fall off.
Right. We've kept you really busy,
yes.
haven't we? I feel like you're always here. But I mean, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
So this is just one of the major and many restoration projects that we have going on here at Mapperton all of the time. As I mentioned before, the Aubusson rug in the drawing room, in the Tudor drawing room, was in need of massive repair because of the footfall that had been going on for years and years from the visitors that were coming into the house. Now that we don't have visitors yet coming back into the house, this was a perfect opportunity for us to actually repair the Aubusson rug as well. And my mother-in-law has taken over that project with Doris. So you'll get an inside peek of the Aubusson being repaired as well.
We're in the drawing room at Mapperton, which is the most formal of the rooms that we sit in, and of course because it's so formal we don't sit in it nearly as much as we sit in other rooms. And I'm in here coming to talk to Doris Hewitt. Doris is a nationally known and absolutely lovely carpet restorer, and she's here restoring the Aubusson tapestry carpet. Doris herself comes from St. Gallen in Switzerland, speaks about 5 languages, and has probably repaired about, how many thousand rugs do you think?
I don't know, I can't count them.
Including working with 5 other people to restore an early Axminster for a whole year in Saltram. I'm now going to go over to Doris and we're going to look at what she's doing. This is a big Aubusson, which is on the floor, and my goodness, it's needed mending.
Yes.
Doris, what are you actually doing there?
So the carpet's been restored, I think, 20 years ago, hasn't
Yes,
it? Last
partly,
worked
yeah.
on, yeah.
Very kindly by the NADFAS people.
Yeah, no, and it's been interesting seeing there's been different repairs done. But there's been lots of wear, so a lot more has gone now.
And you can see how much wear there is. Look,
yeah.
I mean, it's appalling. And of course, every time anyone wears any high heels in here, they go straight through.
Yeah.
Doris, what are all these sort of tails,
So
lamb's
this
tails
is
that you've got
kind
here?
of the first thing I've done is putting it onto a linen, so backing, a new backing. And then this are called the warps, so the broken warps I have replaced. Not all the broken warps, but where I feel it really needs, that it's gone there's a big hole to build it up. So that's the first thing. I replace the warps, and then I do an infill stitch.
So you're replacing warps and then you're infilling across or down?
It's just easier to work up.
So you're working with the warp
yeah.
all the time?
And I'm spacing it about, 5 millimetres apart. Would be lovely to do closer infill stitching, but
you'd never end.
I'd be here forever.
But these Aubusson are really interesting, aren't they? I mean, they come from central France, from a village called Aubusson, which is on the Creuse River.
Yeah.
And apparently the Creuse was quite acid, and so it helped the people of Aubusson to be able to get the grease out of the wool. And then there was another village nearby called Felletin, which also used the name Aubusson and made these tapestries. But they didn't only make tapestries, did they? They made pile carpets.
Piled carpet, yes. I've never actually worked on an Aubusson piled
You've
carpet.
never worked on an Aubusson?
No, I have worked on flat, the flat weave.
And the pile carpets were on vertical looms, presumably. And these were all stretched out on horizontal looms.
Yeah. And I think they worked.
How do you think they worked?
So they did the design rather than working, on oriental carpets. You work in rows like that. While here they built up the design, and that's how come you've got the splits, so they're the colours joined. That some of them have come
and that's why you've got the splits,
And then they oversewed them in the end, joining them together.
Doris, it's all very well me looking at all your rat's tails here. But
I know, they will disappear.
They do look like rat's tails.
I won't
show me a bit
there.
where you've actually finished doing
I mean, I haven't, nothing's completely finished yet, but I have worked on this area here, up here, where it's all stitched down. And then, I have worked from the middle, and while I'm now working from the end, so I'm meeting
in the middle,
which is exciting when I'm catching up. So
and
also,
you've done this, haven't you?
This one is an old repair from like 20 years ago, but then it's worn around the area. So I've done, around the area I have stitched. Here there was a really big hole.
I think we're going to have to ask people not to wear high heels in here,
Yes,
but perhaps. And then let's go to this end, because this end really looks as it sort of should do without any repairs, and is in pretty good state.
It's probably been under the settee, I don't know.
Well, we have turned it from time to time.
Things about, But you definitely notice, they're the most wear.
So the next time, when we put it back, we're going to have to put it back the other way around.
Yes, which would be
just so that we can damage this part now, having damaged that part.
No,
but the colours are lovely, actually.
Yeah.
Well, you've had actually a break over lockdown, haven't you, from doing carpets?
Yes, I did have I called it my Corona carpet. I did have a carpet at home for, which I probably worked on a few months on it. Not as, intense as I work here, but which was nice to have something.
Of course. But you
I
did
miss
actually. I was
carpets.
really hesitant to ask you if you would do this au buisson. Because I've always associated you with rugs and pile carpets.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased when you said you'd really like to do it, and it's thrown you back in the deep end of carpet mending.
Well,
And we
it's
are
kind of, I'm not used to doing 8-hour days,
Yes.
but
I'm really sorry, but we're so
no,
delighted
it's
you're
lovely.
here. And
It's a
thank you
beautiful
so.
place to work. So.
Oh, well, that is true, and it's warm, and it's the views outside of the garden are lovely.
Yeah.
So thank you, Doris. And actually, we're never going to say goodbye to you because we never finish the amount of carpets that there are to do.
Thank you, Caroline.
Are you enjoying this episode? Please consider subscribing. Okay, I'm not dressed appropriately for what I'm about to witness and what you're about to witness either, but it's really exciting. Darren is putting on the ball. You've fixed, restored, repaired the gate pier. I always forget that. Okay, so what's happening now?
Literally, we're just lowering it down the last few inches on the hoist.
Okay.
So the collar that we use for picking it up,
Yeah.
we can make sure it's fixed now, sort of thing. So
Okay.
basically, the last bit now, obviously, we lifted it up from the floor, and now we're just literally just hung there, waiting for
Yeah.
the glue to go off now. So literally, it's seconds pending. You know what I mean?
Okay, seconds pending. Then we're going to talk about Darren's hat afterwards. Okay, this is seconds pending, everybody.
Yeah. So he's on the mark, and now he's just coming.
Oh yeah.
He's just coming down. To its final resting place.
To its final. So is there glue under there? What's under there?
There's a stainless steel pin that goes through half through here, through here,
Yeah.
and then through this stone and into the bottom. But
Do you think? Am I allowed to come up there?
Yeah, you can come up and have a
Oh,
look.
great. I mean, I figured. So I've made my way up here in white trousers. I didn't know I was going to go up here, but the urge, I couldn't resist. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Darren, explain to me. You've hoisted this up.
Yep.
You put it here, and what's holding it on from not falling down again?
Basically, it's a stainless steel pin about the size of my finger,
Yeah.
which goes in about 6 inches to 8 inches into the bottom of this stone.
Yeah.
And it goes all the way through these two stones,
Oh.
through that stone.
Oh my goodness. Right. So the last time, the reason it fell down is because when the truck hits
Hit it,
the
yeah.
gate pier, there was no.
No well, there was a fixing in there, and the fixing was 6 inches long.
Okay. So
So
this
there was
is,
only a fixing in the top.
I see. This makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
So this is. We don't have to worry anymore if a truck
No,
hits it.
Belt and braces, sort of thing. Like you say, it's overkill sort of thing.
It's right. We like overkill
Yeah.
here. Oh my goodness. How long has this taken from start to finish?
About a month and a half.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been here every day that your hat has really aged because it's been here so long.
Yeah, it was
right?
new when I started.
Can I get one of those hats, Darren? That's brilliant. So now you're going to take this.
Well, we're going to leave this on, bring that back up to tonight,
Yeah.
and just hold it while the glue's going off, and then take this off tomorrow.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to swing all this over to that one over there,
Swing.
all this cradle, and
Yeah.
we're going to go over to that ball there,
Oh, no.
because that one needs a bit of a birthday as well.
Yeah, so what are you going to do with that one?
We're going to grab hold of it like this one, and we're going to pick it up and see what the pin's like in underneath it, because obviously if this pin was only 6 inches long,
Right.
the likelihood of that one it being 6 inches long as well.
Did you slice off the top there?
No, I took that off today, but obviously
Right.
it already
It already cracked through.
off.
So I see you're going to take it off and then check it, but
Yeah.
we're probably going to have to do the exact same thing.
Well, we won't need to take the whole gate post down, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
But we'll put a longer pin in, because the difference between that saddle cusp, this one's
Yeah.
in 2 pieces,
Right. Yeah. Oh, yes.
and
I
that
see
one's in one. So obviously you could get away with a smaller fixing.
So is this all brand new?
No.
No.
Everything that was not.
Looks good.
Yeah, there's only one new piece of stone and a few stone repairs to do at a later date once the scaffold's out the way, so I can get to it easier.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. No. It just looks amazing. You've done it so beautifully,
Thank you.
Darren. That's why you are the best stonemason that there is. Okay, brilliant. Well, we may, I'm so obsessed with these. I mean, what are these balls called? Are they called something?
A finial. It's a ball of finial. A finial.
A finial, is
Yeah.
that, where does that come from?
I don't know where the terminology comes
Is
from,
it-
but it is.
Is it Latin?
To be honest, I
Okay,
don't know.
but a finial, how would you spell that? Just so in my head I have to visualize.
F-I-N-A-N-A-L sort of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
finial.
Yeah.
Finial or finial?
Finial.
Finial. Okay, I learned a new word
Yeah.
today. This is what happens here at Mapperton. I learn something new every single day. So a finial is now on the gate pier.
That's right, yeah.
I got it. So it's the final reveal of the Aubusson rug. As you know, Doris was working on this and she has done a brilliant job. I'm sort of tiptoeing on it, but you can see, and Stephen will get a little bit closer, but you can see all of the holes have been repaired. So really mended properly, which is absolutely fantastic. What we did end up doing is we ended up sort of shifting it around a little bit because you can see that this is quite worn here and it's from the footfall of people. Of course, we put plastic down, but we wanted, this is a little bit more fragile here. So this is where people won't go. And then when we do start opening up the house to tours, we're now going to, which we have done in the past, but I don't think, remember, this is like 300 years old, that we'll put down a piece of plastic here when people walk through. So I'm just going to be super careful, but I think it just looks, I can notice it 100%. There were just so many holes from the footfall and they've all been repaired. And to be honest, it looks amazing. Doris did a fantastic job. It's all about repairs here at Mapperton, as you know, but it's really exciting when repair is finished and looks amazing. Right, Darren?
Hiya.
Hiya. So this is, everybody, gate pier. It's all been fixed. It's been repaired, it's been restored, and it's been made much more sturdy.
Yes, right, yeah.
That's right?
Yeah, we've got bigger fixings in
Yeah.
for the holding the ball on, and we've got bigger fixings actually tying it into the wall, which you didn't have before, and we put a footing in underneath it, which you never had before.
Right. So in case another delivery truck ever hits this again, it will not fall down.
But what was in there before on the other side, holding the ball on, was that here.
No, that's it?
That was it.
That was it. Oh, you have it for me. Are you gonna, is this a souvenir for me?
Well, you can have it, like you say.
Oh my goodness. How old do we think this is?
That's not so old as the one that was in this one, you know what I mean? But obviously it's probably a good 50 years old.
I'm all about 50 years old. Okay, so that it's older than me. So I'm quite pleased with that. Okay, I'm going to take this as my, are you sure?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Because what were you going to do with this?
No, it was only living in the van to show somebody.
There you go, and it showed me. Yeah. Fantastic. So now it's a much bigger one, isn't it?
Yeah, like you say, that one in there is probably a metre long.
There you
and
go.
The one over there is probably half a metre down through, sort of thing. So
okay.
They're both on.
Fantastic. I mean, it looks amazing. So you're just finishing up the pointing.
Yeah, finishing up the fine detail of the joints, and then we'll tone everything down to make sure it looks like no one's ever been here, sort of
Right,
thing.
that's right. And then I asked you this earlier, but I'm just gonna, so then of course I was like, well, what about, is this the next repair?
Well, it's all in the same part, sort of thing,
right.
But obviously we repoint this once we got this one right, sort of thing.
Right,
so
exactly.
We'll fill that up and we'll repoint everything that's cracked and moved.
And you couldn't do that until the scaffolding was down?
No, because
right.
I couldn't see, sort
That's
of thing.
right. That makes sense.
So, yeah.
And also, of course, not only do I love this, my souvenir, but I love that you could see that before. I guess I just never noticed it.
Well, we've cleaned slightly the stones up by working them, sort of thing. But now they're a bit lighter. It's easier to see.
It is easier to see, definitely. Once again, Darren, we're obviously incredibly grateful for repairing the gate pier.
Yeah, correct.
I got it right. And of course, all the other repairs that you do, because there's so many.
Thank you for asking me.
So do you ever leave here, really?
Yes and no. Like I say, I've got other bits and pieces ongoing, you know what I mean? But at the moment, we seem to be here.
We keep you pretty busy.
Yeah.
We keep you pretty busy. All right, thanks, Darren.
Okay,
it looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Right, well, we're here in the back of the farmyard at Cultley, and this is quite an exciting place because we have just started doing our plans for converting all of this into something new.
This as well, because this is a beautiful view right here. Wow.
It is a lovely view. Let's go on in here.
Okay,
into
let me
this
just get a
barn.
picture of that. 1 second. It's really, wait, watch out, because you're messing it up.
No, I thought I'd stand in it and you could have me.
No, because you're
in
blocking the
picture.
view. You're blocking the view. You're blocking the view.
Am I not a nice view?
You are, but not for this. I want that
Okay,
view.
right.
Just to the left. Just takes you, wow.
Everything is for social media with this woman.
So pretty. Okay,
Okay,
I'm ready.
you done? Okay,
Yeah.
so come on in here. This at the moment is a pheasant haven. Everything in here is designed to look after and feed pheasants. And that is going to be ending at the end of this year. And all of this will come out.
All
and
this.
And the plan is
Like
to
this structure.
convert this barn. I mean, if you look in here, these were cow stalls. So there were cows all wintering through here. But it hasn't been used for that for about 20 years.
Okay, but what's the plan? Because this is a beautiful view.
I know, it does have one of the best views.
Look it.
The plan is to convert all of Coltley into a place that people can come and enjoy as part of the rewilding project. Yeah.
Right, so let me see the plans.
We haven't done the plans for this one.
Oh, okay.
But this, we would knock down one of these barns. This is just timber and corrugated sheeting. And we would create a visitor centre over there. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's great. So this wouldn't be any accommodation here.
This wouldn't be accommodation, no. So we'd have people parking out there, maybe school buses, mini buses, and then we would have an area where people would arrive, they'd throw down their packed lunches, they'd go off on their tour, and then they'd come back again.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So this is all coming down.
So that's this building. Yeah, this is
Okay.
all coming down.
Please help support this important part of England's heritage by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.
Okay.
So coming through here, out of the barn, we have what are the old cottages.
Sorry.
Julie has just been advising all of us to take real care as we come through there. Is that my fault?
No.
Should I have held you?
Probably.
Okay, you okay?
It's all right.
Okay, so these used to be cottages with, there were 2 different cottages here. As many as
Really?
15 people lived at Coltley.
You're
at one
kidding
point.
me.
No, I'm not kidding at all. And these are all now redundant
in.
buildings. Let's go and have a look inside.
Wow. So somebody's lived in here beforehand.
Well,
not
a long
with this
time
roof.
ago, not for probably 50 or 60 years.
Oh my goodness.
But that long ago, it is possible.
So,
Anyway,
what are the plans?
This would be converted into a cottage.
This whole thing
This
here.
whole thing. So look, there you go.
Oh my
There's
goodness.
the ground floor plan.
Oh, it's got 2 floors.
Sitting room is up that end.
Right. Good look.
We're in the dining. No, we're in a bedroom.
We're in a bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're in a
nice size bedroom. Yeah.
And then we will be building a first floor and raising the roof slightly.
And raising the roof. So what am I in now?
You're now in the dining room.
In the dining room. This is
Yeah.
good. And then what's in here?
And that is the sitting room.
And then up above is what's going to be.
And then up above would be bedrooms. So look, so you got.
So it's going to be, how many bedrooms is that?
So I think it's going to be like 4 or 5 bedrooms.
It says there, bed 5.
Yeah.
That is a lot of bedrooms.
So this will be a really nice place for people to come and stay on holiday.
And so it's going to be a holiday.
So it's going to be a holiday.
Vacation.
But we've got another building over here.
This is exciting.
Which I have a secret plan for. I think we might retire there one day.
Okay.
Should we go have a look?
Okay.
And we've got some plans for
I mean,
that one.
it's quite sad that you're thinking of retirement now. I still think of myself as a spring chicken. I mean, I know I'm
next
not.
Next week, I'd like,
Look, what?
ready to retire. This
This is where you want us to retire?
This is the barn at Coltley. If you come around in here, there's the remains of some quite interesting things. See if you can work out what it was. Let's see how good Julie is at agricultural history. What do we think?
So there's the remains. Are you? There's like tiles.
Yeah, but look what's on the wall over there.
Look, it's on the wall.
On the wall. No, you've got to go through so that Stephen can
wall.
see. Keep going.
Okay, but it's like I love how you're pushing me in here with like glass. Look what's on the wall.
Yeah, there's a really big clue on the wall.
This
No, that's
a
a crack.
big-
That's not a clue, that's a crack.
clue on the wall. I mean, I don't know what that is.
Well, exactly. So that is your clue.
That
Can you
is-
imagine? And if you look at that, you've got things coming off it,
I've got
which look like pipes. Now, what would you use pipes for in a farm?
looks like they hung things there. No,
Do you think they hung animals or something?
I don't know.
No, that wasn't even close.
Okay.
So pipes carry, what do pipes carry? Liquid.
Liquid,
Now, what liquid do you get
milk.
on
So it's a dairy farm. Oh my god.
There we go.
Is that the old way to extract the
have
milk?
been, well, I don't know what that particular bit was doing, but that was doing something important. Anyway,
Right.
let's
Okay.
move out of here.
Let's move out of here
Move out of here.
carefully.
Just going to imagine
What's
what
here?
this might be like. And then we come into the main barn.
Okay, this is where I don't necessarily want to go into. I just think it's quite dangerous. Like, look up above you. Like one of those
Oh,
corrugated roofing
Yeah.
could like fall on top of
do you
your
know
head.
what's interesting about
But
this
you go
barn-
ahead.
No, you can come in. It's okay.
Okay.
Health and safety. I did the risk assessment before
No,
we
you
got
didn't. No, you didn't.
here. Well,
You didn't.
this is the barn at Coltley. It's got magnificent views that way towards Hook Park, but there's a real problem. And the problem is the foundations.
Oh.
And there's a clue that the foundations may not be that well behaved. We've got these huge cracks in the wall because the building
Yeah.
is slowly collapsing. It's built on green sand, and green sand, as you might imagine, isn't a great surface for building. So the thing is
I don't even know what that
slowly...
is, but anything that says sand, I assume, is quite not,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah, so it's slipping down the hill, basically. It would be an amazing, amazing house for people to come and stay in. It's right in the rewilding area of the estate. It might be a really nice place for us to eventually end up.
Okay.
But
No,
but,
I mean, I still think
but
I'm a
we
spring
just
chicken.
don't know whether we can get the foundations.
So why couldn't you just bulldoze this down and then rebuild from there? That's what a lot of people will want to know, because this doesn't look like it's salvageable.
Well, some people come to Mapperton and they look at the stonework and they see that it's crumbling, and they think, well, why don't you just bulldoze that down as well?
Yeah, no,
But if we bulldoze down everything, we won't have any
I
heritage
know that.
left.
That's why I'm asking the question that some people, I'm not saying do it. I've been here
You're
for
not
a long
saying
time.
you'd never say that.
No,
would you?
I would
Because
never
you'd
say that.
recognise that this is a really important
Exactly.
historical
It is.
feature
No,
in
it
the
is.
landscape that we want to preserve and restore. And in fact, if you look over there and you look at that lintel and that stonework, you can see that that was all pointed and redone relatively recently.
Relatively recently.
There is a slight losing battle when you look at things the other end. What I really want to show you and get you excited about is this.
Okay.
Because that is the whole building looking down the hill.
And these are the windows in
Look,
front.
there is the barn that we're in now.
Yes.
And I'm going to show you that bit, which is the cow stalls. The real problem is that the cost of restoring this is well in excess of what it would cost to put a new building in here.
I know.
And that's the problem.
Right.
So, but that's the story of Mapperton.
That is the story
Everything-
of Mapperton.
everything costs a fortune.
Yeah, it was like stuff creeping up, piling up everywhere. Yeah, just going to do like a balancing act here. It's quite dangerous.
So this is the bit that I really do get excited about. If we can fight our way through all of
Okay.
these stones, and watch out for nettles.
Well, I
You're
have
not-
big
you're not very good at
boots
nettles.
on. Woo!
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
So this used to be more cow stalls.
Okay.
So if you can imagine cows,
Let me get to my spot and then I'll start imagining.
Getting-
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm here. I'm going to perch up
so
here.
we're here. So
Very
this
here.
will be the extra wing of the house. So if you look at this here,
Oh,
you
yes.
can see that's the barn on that side. Yeah. And then that's the
These are the windows
these are the
here.
windows.
Overlooking.
And we'll be looking down towards the sea, towards Hook Park. And I can just imagine you and me in our dotage.
in our
Sitting,
dotage.
sitting in a that means old age. Okay. Sitting
That was another Latin word.
sitting in a comfortable armchair with a nice cup of tea.
I mean, you're aging me already.
You're probably
You're talking about retirement and
I'm
the
I'm
dotage.
probably having an Earl Grey.
And we're aging me.
And-
You're talking about drinking
and
tea.
all we have to do is sit here
What?
and listen and be quiet. and enjoy the noise of the countryside.
The renovation, the transformation of the Muniment room, AKA archive room. But we've got to start all the way at the very beginning. And the beginning started actually December 31st, 2022, when I went live for the first time on my American Viscountess channel, talking about our own American heiress, the 9th Countess of Sandwich, Alberta Sturges. Well, this room was filled with her entire collection. And I mean, every letter pretty much that she received. And I started to go on live week after week in January, in February, but I was going live next door to the dining room next door here at Mapperton because this room here was a wreck. So it hadn't been touched in, we think, well over 70 years. Yet, this is where all of the Sandwich Montagu archives are held. However, this room needed a lot of work. There's damage everywhere. Everywhere I look up. I mean, the ceiling is just shocking. And that is not a quick fix. That will take a lot of time. Because of all of the donations from the Alberta Research Project on buymeacoffee.com, we were able to not only achieve the goal, but stretch beyond the goal. And with that, I was able to purchase the fireproof archive storage cabinet. I was also able to purchase an amazing digital scanner, a lot of the archiving supplies, so the acid-free boxes and acid-free paper. And my big purchase was getting him back. So it's a 17th century extraordinary painting of the first Earl of Sandwich. So off I go to the auction house. Here we are. Okay, there he is. Got him back. So exciting. All right, they have packaged it up and he is going to bring it down to me because I kind of had to park a little bit far away. He's going to bring it down to me and put it in my car. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. All right, we're putting it in. It's so exciting. That is brilliant. First Earl of Sandwich is coming back home. There we are. Oh, nice. There is a wonderful brass plaque on top of walnut, which lists those donors' names who donated quite a high amount and really helped with the renovation of this room. So once I was able to purchase all of those bits, which were important to this room and making sure that these archives were safe and sound, but also that it would be a comfortable room to work in, the renovation started. There was a pretty great discovery, and that was in a yellow Jiffy envelope. And can you believe it? As I pull it out, I discover Alberta's 120-year-old recipe book. Found this sort of padded envelope, and it says recipe book, Lady Hinchingbrook's family recipe book. Now, hear me out on this, it's actually Alberta's. And the reason I know that is because this letter was written to my father-in-law. In 1977, he let somebody borrow a Hinchingbrook recipe book. It's incredible. So I'm so happy that I was able to sort of take this room apart before the renovation began. Once everything was stripped and it was pretty much bare, apart from the bookcases, we knew pretty much where we wanted to reorganize the bookcases. And that meant removing them, of course, from the walls themselves because we needed to paint behind them. And yet another discovery occurred.
Come around.
So that's been moved. I'm super happy with that.
Yeah,
then they can paint that whole wall. And then we'll
keep going. You've got to come all the way around here.
Yeah.
All the way around here.
Okay.
Through here.
Oh my gosh.
We have discovered is that there is a window.
I'm coming in here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
There's a window, and it was behind this bookcase, which hasn't been moved for 80 years, perhaps.
This was the original exterior window of the house before the bit that I'm sitting in right now was built in the late 19th century. And this window had been covered up for decades. Darren, our stonemason, you've seen him many times, I think, here on Mapperton Live, was able to repair the window because it had been covered for so long, it needed to be repaired. While I had Darren in here, I had him look at the fireplace, and that hadn't been cleaned for probably the same amount of time that window was covered, and he and I were able to clean this. It looks like a brand new fireplace to me, that is for sure. So we had to do a little bit of slicing and dicing of the bookcase in order to keep the carvings. Once the bookcases were finished, we ran into yet another problem.
Discovered yesterday afternoon was the actual ceiling is leaking, and we were finding water spots where we've had some rain finally.
Yep.
Dripping off the ceiling.
I went up onto the lead roof with Darren and with Raymond, and we found the culprit. In fact, we found several cracks in the lead roof.
And because the roof runs this way
Yep.
and that way, we think that's the way that the water's heading across underneath the panels. And we've got a small hole here. And obviously we've got a very, very small crack there.
Yep.
So I think that's where, in the area downstairs, is where the water ingress is up here.
That's right. So once we were able to, again, repair that leak, we then started back again with the zinzering. And that smell, wowzer. So there were a lot of masks being worn, a lot of blisters on the fingers from the sanding. Speaking of sanding, I needed to sand the timber floors. So we're gonna not sand it all the way back, everybody, because the color that we're keeping the timber anyway is about the same color, but we just want to clean it up. It probably hasn't been cleaned for...
No, quite a while.
And then the fun began. And that is, of course, painting. It's always the prep that's the hardest. It's the painting, and you get to see the results that is the most fun. Malcolm and I decided on a scheme of greens and crimson red to paint the bookcases and the walls and the woodwork and the doors. Took me 5 full days. And I'm not talking a 9-to-5 job here. I'm talking from 7 a.m. till most nights, midnight. By the time we leave tonight, we would have done 2 coats in the Muniment room. Don't you think so, Barry?
Yeah, I should think so.
Well, we should think so. We hope so. Nearly there-ish, kind of, she says. Haha, not really, crazy. After the walls were finished, then I was able to stain the floors. Once stained, I was able to wax the floors. We then positioned everything in place, and I started to bring all of the archives back in. Again, it gets even more fun because we get to furnish the room, and this is where we are today. Here is, everybody, the complete transformation and renovation of the Muniment room. Thanks to all of you who have watched the Alberta Lives, because all of that video ad revenue went towards the Muniment Room Fund, and for those of you who donated to the Alberta Research Project. I got my 19th century wingback chair, this wonderful, fantastic cushion. I found 2 amazing Persian carpets, again within the same color scheme. The Chippendale, and this is an early Chippendale desk we actually had in the house, and so now it's being used properly as a desk. 2 brass lamps. Again, everything in this room has been sourced from auction houses and from antiques, antique markets, antique stores. Right behind me, a beautiful, and this is really one of my favorite finds, beautiful early 20th century, I think it's around 1930, swing arm brass lamp from Atkins Auctions. I was able to find my desk chair, a Queen Anne chair, and I've had that reupholstered in a lovely dark green velvet. as well as a carver chair that I found reupholstered in a dark green velvet. Another carver chair reupholstered in a crimson velvet. I found some brass fire dogs. I know you're all waiting for the crewel embroidered curtains, and that to me was, when we were able to raise enough funds for that, I was just thrilled to bits. These curtains are spectacular. They are exquisite. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And then lastly, I really wanted to make sure that Alberta was seen in this room. So I have the picture of Alberta on her wedding day framed on my desk. And so all of these prints and pictures that you see hanging on the wall were quite dear to Alberta's heart, and I thought that they needed to have a special place and space here in the Muniment room. So again, I just want to say thank you all so much for supporting me over the past 6 months nearly on this huge project. From beginning to end, we were able to renovate this in a month. We did it just in time for my father-in-law's 80th birthday party, and I think it looks fantastic. I'm so excited. Well, where do I begin? I'm sitting finally in Keeper's Cottage, our nightmare fairy tale cottage that is today a dream. We started this project a year and a half ago.
In many ways, this is one of my favourite cottages on the estate. And I think as I pan the camera, it will become clear why.
It is beautiful.
So we're going to transform it, Malcolm, as you have before with Garden Cottage.
Indeed, yes.
I always think of Mapperton, the main house, because it's 500 years old, as quite difficult to renovate and all that goes into redecorating and renovating a 500-year-old house. But this is only 100 years old, and it was more difficult for me to renovate this cottage than anything I've ever done at Mapperton. And so we started with our very first cottage, holiday let, garden cottage, and that was easy compared to this. I mean, it was a breeze. It's beautiful. It's 3-bedroom. It rents out all the time. So we thought, well, Keeper's Cottage is smaller. It's going to be easier. No. This cottage was a nightmare, but now is a dream. So first of all, we had to look at colors, designs, and what we wanted to create in each room. So I entered in through the back door, and immediately I thought, well, we need a brand new kitchen.
In we go.
In we go. Whoa! Oh my goodness, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Oh my
Quite a colourful kitchen.
Wow. It's really
pretty.
sweet.
So we've come in through the front door, which comes directly into the kitchen, which,
Yes.
as you can see, is a little tired.
I was like, oh my gosh, it had like multicolored tiles everywhere. Everything had to be torn out, from the floor to all of the kitchen units. We're digging up the floor here. Digging up the floor. Look at this kitchen. Oh, this is the kitchen, everybody.
This looks good. We've got the chimney out,
Yeah.
which is a great help because now we can start to mark out where all the kitchen units are going to go, which is important because what we then need to do is start marking up on this wall where all our sockets will go.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. That is, yeah. Well, the floor is going in.
We've just got to get this kitchen in quickly.
Yeah.
And but a kitchen needs a floor.
Yep. And Malcolm and I chose a lovely sort of sage green cabinet color throughout the kitchen. But again, the kitchen took quite some time. I mean, you're pulling out a floor, then you're having to put a brand new floor, and we've got lovely tiles in there. And it's turned out to be actually a really, really beautiful, beautiful kitchen. Just off of the kitchen had been a loo and sort of a utility room, and we kept that, but we just sort of smartened it up, and there's now a washer and dryer in there as well. And then moving into the room that I'm sitting in right now, which is the sitting room.
What I suggest here is that we use this as the sitting room.
I like this. I think this is a nice sitting room.
It's a really sweet little room, this, and we've got room to get some good pieces of furniture in.
So we're kind of using the sitting room right now as just an area until this all gets thrown out. That's all the kitchen cupboards. So these are the kitchen cupboards here. You can see. You can see that we have completely redecorated it. We've used that color scheme I was talking about, sort of this burnt orange, olive green alongside sage green, and even more of a bluey green here, and bits of ochre scattered around. This floor had sort of linoleum tile underneath, and we just decided to keep it there because there weren't any timber floors underneath it, and we put a sisal carpet. We've used a really soft green here. All the paint colors are down below, and then another green called serpentine on the woodwork. This room was actually somewhat easier. She says easier. However, things got a little bit tricky. Let's enter into the dining room.
We then have on the other side of this little lobby a smaller room, which at some point has been panelled.
Yes.
But again, sweet little room. And I think we'll take out where the television was because we won't be using that.
And again, we've got a nice little wood burner in the corner here.
And the other thing we need to look at is what's underneath this carpet, because there might be a rather nice timber floor, or we might
Can we pick it up now and look? Because I pulled that carpet off because I wanted to see what was underneath, and lo and behold, there were beautiful timber floors. You can see how amazing these timber floors are underneath. I'll obviously give you some close-ups. I mean, obviously they need to be resanded, and then we're looking to repaint them. But, I mean, this is what happens. You uncover, you know, what's underneath, and it's pretty wonderful. Around the dining room, it was plywood paneling. Whoa. Look at those walls. Oh my goodness. There's so much noise going on here. It's a bit insane. Oh, it's like one piece. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's literally one piece. It's quite cool. Wowzers. It's been just glued on. With the timber floors, Malcolm and I made a decision to, and this was quite controversial here on YouTube, to actually paint them black. Okay, no, I need your guidance. Okay, so that wasn't slow. Oh my God, should I do it again? Do I hold this? I quite like the contrast with the black and then putting a sisal rug on top of it. And that's exactly what we did in the dining room. And then the furnishings that you see there, lovely table that I found at Marsh Farm. We had that repainted.
Look at how good Malcolm is, and Meg, amazing.
I love the dining room, I have to be honest. I think it's just beautiful. Head out from the dining room, we walk up the stairs, and again, I had to pull the carpet from the stairs to expose the timber. right, ta-da. Look at that. Whoa! We decided then to use a runner carpet, paint the stairs black, use a runner carpet there. Now, up at the top, there were technically 3 bedrooms up there.
So we have this, which was a little bedroom, and the idea is that we create this into 2 bathrooms.
Oh.
So we can knock through here into the main bedroom.
Yes.
And the idea is then to create a little ensuite bathroom at this end.
Okay.
And then to create another bathroom, a smaller shower room, on this side.
I helped to build a stud wall and to make one of the bathrooms en suite. We created a shower room with a loo and a sink. Again, painted those timber floors black. That's really technically the bathroom for the guest bedroom. Same thing with the guest bedroom, had to pull up the carpets, sand down the floors, paint them black, patch up the walls, really make good of the walls because they were in such bad shape. There's a lot of damp. And all of a sudden, the paint would come off. It would start peeling out everywhere. You can see that this wall has been painted with the first coat.
Yeah.
But then what happened?
And obviously, when there's no heating on here, over the night it gets really cold. Cold conditions outside, whatever. And obviously, it's all just starting to, like, efflorescence is starting to come through, which is like a salt coming in from outside as well.
Took us a while to find the problem, but the problem was with the chimney. So you can see all up here, we didn't know necessarily about this leak. We thought it was just sort of old damp. And we started to paint and it all started flake off. So that is a bore because the entire chimney had to be rebuilt. So we had to put up the scaffolding and that took months. It was a nightmare, everybody. It was such a nightmare. There aren't any words to describe that, but we did it. And then we decorated that room, furnished that room with lovely fabric, headboards that we had made. And then we've got the Molly Mahon fabric seat cushions there. They're really, really sweet. Now I'm moving on to the primary bedroom. Same thing, primary bedroom, pulled back the carpets, revealed the timber floor, but that primary bedroom I really love. Again, we pulled away, they had some cupboards in there. Those were pulled away.
But we're going to take all of this out.
Right, yeah.
And the
That's a
intention
big wardrobe.
is that the bed would then go on that wall there.
Okay.
Because it's the wider wall, because on this wall we've got the door.
Right,
and
so this is really going to open up this room.
completely.
It's going to make it.
Yeah.
And now it's a beautiful room. And again, using this sort of dark green color, olive green throughout it, and it's wonderful. In that bedroom, we then created an ensuite bathroom.
And I'm looking forward to getting into my bath in here, because this, I believe, is the master bathroom.
This is the master bathroom, but I don't think you'll be getting a bath in here, but somebody will be. Ta-da! Here it is. I think it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably a little bit more cleaning.
No, it's not too bad. We got all the filler off the back, which
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
there, it's all off.
Yeah, look at that, everybody. So that's keepers as far as the interior. Lovely 2-bedroom, can technically sleep 6 because I'm sitting on a sofa bed. The exterior had a lot of foliage on it. Not just around the house, like connected to the house, but around the entire house. So we literally almost had to shave like a beard everything away for the time being so that it could breathe life back to the exterior walls here at the cottage.
Right, we've got the jasmine that's taking over completely.
Right.
So we're going to get that off the roof, away from the gutter.
Yeah.
And we're going to hit it hard, be a bit brutal because it's tough as old boots, it'll be fine. Then we've got a hydrangea down here, we're going to push that back.
Okay.
And over there more we've got honeysuckle, and around the corner a passion flower that all needs to be put back.
You'll see a significant difference between how we started and what it looked like beforehand on the outside and what it looks like now. And I just think it's much cleaner and sharper. It has a lovely decking there, and just the whole outside, the driveway, all around the back door. It's been cleaned up, much smarter, and I even had a hand at pruning on one of the exterior walls here with Landa. So that's how we turned this sort of nightmare cottage that really needed to be, you know, cleaned up a bit into a dream. I really now can say that this is our fairy tale English cottage. So the 18th century pool has been a feature here at Mapperton for hundreds of years, really.
Well, wait. Maybe since the 18th century.
So what happened was, over the pandemic, when we were all locked in, I needed a way to energize myself on a daily basis in order to homeschool kids. So I decided to go swimming in the 18th century pool on a daily basis, and I would do what's called 2-minute cold water immersion therapy.
It's just straight in. It's straight in. It's so impressive, isn't it? In she goes. Are you getting that kind of warm, tingling sensation? You went through what looked like a really miserable period, and then suddenly something happened.
Energizing dips.
She was very brave, much braver than me.
In the cold.
Because I tried it once, and within 10 seconds, I had to get out of the pool so fast that I broke the ladder.
Yep. But what was happening was, during the pandemic, and I would swim every day, I would come out with some green around me. We weren't able to drain our pool in 2020. And so we just left it, and I kept swimming in it. And it wasn't until 2021 that we were able to drain it and clean it again, which we do every year. So I'm going to pull it up.
Yep. Yeah. And then if you can just pass it to me.
Okay.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
There we go.
Okay.
That's that bit done.
Okay.
Oh, sounded like it was going.
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Definitely needed some help there. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, it's amazing that they thought to run obviously the water from the top pool under the other pool.
Yeah, and when it was all drained, we decided to power wash it because it was very, very dirty. But we also noticed some cracks as well. So we noticed some cracks around the pool, but we didn't think too much of it. I continued to power wash. It was very much fun with that instrument that I had there. And this is like a lot of work. We filled it back up thinking it's all going to be fine. But
it was leaking, and so it did not hold the water. Where's that water coming from?
Well, it's coming from the ground.
So it's just
groundwater coming up to the back of the wall, finding the weakest point, and you can see the damage it's done over the years.
So it's created a kind of river, hasn't it?
It's following it.
It's like a channel. But how on earth do you stop water that is coming through the side? And we kind of realised that perhaps the power washing itself had made the situation worse, because while it had cleaned away a lot of the algae, it had also cleaned away a lot of the cement, and the cement was holding in the water, and so the pool was draining down the valley. So at that point we said, maybe we need to drain the pool once again. And really try and fix it at this stage. And at that point, we were already launched with Mapperton Live, and we had the wonderful support of our Mapperton Live patrons, who have been really helping with the support of this part of England's heritage, but in particular, the pool. It was that support that made it possible. If you're interested in becoming a patron, you should go to patreon.com/Mapperton Live. We'd love to see you there. It's a fantastic community, and they should be so proud of the fact that they've been able to support this project.
So we brought in Andy, and Andy, once the pool was drained, he was able to really pinpoint every single leak in the pool. But we did have to use, in order to repair those leaks, we had to use a special type of sealant because it needed to be waterproof.
All right, so I'm going to go and help mix some concrete.
Keep it coming just like that, Alex.
All up here?
Yeah, and we're going to do a 2-inch bed, 3-inch bed. This is how we really get it. You know, we get the customers to do the work.
Yeah. And we plugged those holes. I mean, it
So
was an
many.
amazing thing. But then something really unexpected happened. Do you remember what happened?
Plague of frogs.
Plague of frogs. Exactly. I can see a real problem with this project.
Frogs.
Toads.
Frogs. Obviously, painstakingly picking up frogs.
Here we have a bucket full of rescued frogs. So we're going to get them into the water. I can already see a lot of frogs in this pool, along with a few fish. There we go, into the pool. Heading off, a few newts as well. There we go. There were so many frogs that I was worried that the French were going to arrive and say, we want them. Frog's legs, great French delicacy.
Yes, we had repaired the leaks and plugged them all in. We filled up the water and we realized, hey, this works, right? It's not leaking out anymore. So that was step number one, and we were very happy. But 15 years ago, there was sort of a chlorinated system. Number one, we don't have that anymore. And number two, we didn't want to resuscitate that. So we brought in the pool guy, David Pagan Butler.
Oh, there are too many nutrients getting into the pool. So there's phosphate coming in from soil water, getting into the pool and allowing the algae just to flourish. And I'm just wondering about having, trying to create some floating plant islands that go within the pool.
So maybe we do 4 or 5 of these islands through the pool here.
Well, I'm just going to take a sample, small sample, and put it in this, which goes in the meter.
10 mils.
Litre mark. Yep. Put that on there. Now, I'm going to put this in the device, and it measures the light that gets transmitted through that. The answer is 0.31 milligrams per litre.
Good, is it bad? Is it?
No, it's not good. What's happening at the moment is that the algae is flourishing, and when that dies and decays, it's sinking to the bottom, making a whole load of gunk, which has got no other way of leaving the pool.
And he said, right, what you need to put in here, this is a huge pool, I think it's one of the biggest pools he's worked on, is to create and really build from scratch floating aquatic plant islands. So we worked out that we needed about 12 of them. And we used larch wood. We worked out what plants could thrive in this pool. So what we did was Raymond and I went to sort of the repair center. Probably out of all the projects here at Mapperton, this is my favorite.
All right. Well,
are you happy with that? I love this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Each of those water islands took 4 hours to create. We created 12 of those all by hand. And what's really quite genius about this is that we would take the plants out of their compost, their soil, get rid of all of that, put grit in and stick them back in. And the reason behind that is so that they would grow through the hessian, which we had placed at the bottom of the plant islands, and the roots would have to work really hard, much, much harder had they stayed in soil to find the nutrients. The water that was coming in to fill the pool back up, because we were losing it so much from the leaks, was coming from the spring above.
Exactly. So the water was coming in and it was full of nutrients. And that was part of the reason, because the algae was just having an absolute party on the nutrients. And
I wasn't, they were. We built these plant islands exactly to his specifications, and we put them in, we tethered them to the sides, and we needed to give it a couple of months to see what would happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Go.
Okay, I think it's stuck.
Push.
Oh!
There you go.
Oh, crikey.
That's launch. That was fun.
And lo and behold, now, when you go in the pool, or when I say I go into the pool, you can literally see and feel from underneath these long, beautiful roots coming down from every single plant in every single plant island. And even as we come into the winter months with not a lot of sun, these plants are actually thriving. They're green, they're bringing up the nutrients, they're healthy. This right here, it may look like roots, but you can see, look at how, this actually is a perfect example of this. This is water mint here, of the water mint, and you can see that the roots are they're taking in the algae right here. I mean, look at that on my hand. Those were around the roots. So they are definitely feeding from, again, the nutrients from the pool. I mean, that goes to show you that it's working. And it's wonderful to swim now in the pool where there's really no algae at all. And the aquatic plants are doing the job that David said that they would do. And that's a natural pool.
There was a brilliant moment where it was hot in the summer, the pool was clear, the planters were taking off, they were growing, and you and I had a fantastic swim together.
We did.
And we even celebrated with a glass of Mapperton bubbly.
Elderflower.
Well, it was still bubbly.
It
may
was
not have been the alcoholic sort, but it was definitely bubbly. And that was a pool party.
Cheers, everybody.
To the end of the 18th century pool project.
This year.
Part 1. Part 2 coming up.
Okay, let me try this.
Wow.
That is delicious.
That is somewhere in between elderflower, vinegar, and champagne.
I don't taste the vinegar.
Closer to the vinegar, I think.
That's not. No, that is delicious.
It is pretty good.
That is delicious.
I like vinegar. Victory lap.
Victory lap, everybody. Thank you so much for all of your support during this restoration of our 18th century pool. It's been super fun, but as Luke said, there's still lots more to go. Swim with my glass.
That doesn't really work, does it?
It's delicious. Okay, bye everybody. Thank you. Really, the story around the restoration of this wonderful pool that is a huge feature here for the visitors that come and visit the gardens, but also it's a huge feature for me because it's where I still continue to swim in most mornings for 2 minutes, rain or shine, cold, snow or ice or sun.
I have a feeling that people far and wide around the world are going to come and want to visit Mapperton mainly for the pool. So this is going to become a place of pilgrimage.
You heard it here first.
So if you're planning a pilgrimage to the Mapperton pool, just let us know in the comments and we'll make sure that we come out and give you a warm welcome.
Hi everybody, today is the day. We are actually putting this lovely warm ochre, I would call it a warm ochre color, onto the walls here in the library. And the name of it is called Wharf Sacking, and it's by Mylands, and it's beautiful paint. And it's really gonna, I think, make this room feel a lot cozier. Thank goodness Malcolm came and led me in down the right path. So I've got John here today, and with the ceiling now done, John and his team have cleaned all the walls and prepped them to get ready for really the first coat of paint to be put on. So John and I are here and we're cutting in today, and then perhaps we will be able to do the fun bit, rolling it on. I'm sure I'm a much slower painter than John, but he's been doing this for years, and I've only recently just started with the Muniment room, everybody, as you know, but I do find it quite therapeutic. You can really see the difference between this color and the color that was. So after the wools have been cleaned, you can see that the color that the wool was actually more of a, I don't know, beige with a hint of yellow. But yeah, it's going to transform this room. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it for today because John and I have done the cutting in and the first coat of this lovely sort of warm ochre color is what I kind of call it, called War Sacking from Mylands Paint. And I also just want to say a huge thank you to our Mapperton Live patrons. Because of their support, we're able to redecorate this room. So I just want to say huge, huge thank you to our Mapperton Live patrons. I mean, incredible. Now, Darren has done a fantastic job getting rid of the tar back here. Do you remember these two big black streaks? Really getting rid of the tar and just giving the stone here a nice, not taking away any of the patina or anything like that, but it just needed to have a little bit of a clean, if you like, getting rid of some of the smoke that had gone into the stone. And yeah, I think it looks better.
I'm here today with Darren, who has got a power drill in his hand, which means that you mean business, Darren.
Well, kind of. We're just undoing the phosphor bronze fixings in the top to see if we can reuse them again without actually taking the top two layers off.
This is all about the eagles, which of course are coming back to Mapperton. They are going back up here. They have been lovingly restored by Mike White, who has nearly finished putting all the lead back in, I believe. But we've got other issues. So it's not just a question of repairing the eagles, we've got stonework problems. Darren, can you sort of describe generally what the worry is with the stonework?
The problem with the stonework is we've got a bit of iron ingress, which is obviously...
What, here, link to this, you mean?
Which is obviously jacked up this left-hand gate pier.
We've got an iron fixture that's gone in here. The iron has disintegrated.
No, it's expanded.
It's expanded.
So it's like, in theory, it's like a concrete cancer. You know what I mean? In concrete lintels and stuff, obviously it gets wet.
Yeah.
It expands and it jacks the building up.
And so where I can see this crack here, that's because it's lifted it up.
It's expanded and lifted it up.
And that makes the top half of the pillar unstable,
well,
potentially.
Just loose, you know what I mean? Like you say, there's a bit of movement in there, but obviously we've got to restrict. The one the other side, we haven't got a problem. There's no movement in that side, as we think, but whatever we do to this one, we'll put a fix.
What's the plan? What's the solution?
Well, we think we're going to be able to put a stainless steel dowel from the back side across.
So coming from this side?
From the back edge, you know what I mean? And obviously pinning it down through.
I see.
So in theory, that would stop.
Do we take that out?
That's going to have to go.
That has to come out?
Yeah, because if not, it's going to create another problem later date.
Which means these wonderful gates are going to have to come off.
Well, yes.
What's the chances of them staying upright after we take them off?
Well, I wouldn't want to put money on it.
No, you wouldn't put money on it, would you? As you can see, the gates have definitely seen better days, possibly better centuries.
Yes, I don't think they're going to close again. If they do, they might.
Well, we will put them lovingly in the North Stable Block, which is where things like this end up at Mapperton, and at some point we will get them back. So this comes out. You've got a dowel going through that gives you some strength. To sort of support the whole thing. Yeah. And once that's done, are you then confident we can just put the plinth on the top?
We think so, yeah. You know what I mean? Because obviously, once I've seen Mike and we fix the plinths, we know exactly how the tip's going to work, sort of thing. At the moment, that's the unknown.
Right, so because the plinth, if the eagle is leaning forward with a lot of lead weight, then it's pulling the back end, isn't it?
Right.
And that's what you've got to work out.
Well, with the old fixings, if we do it like for like, we shouldn't have a problem.
Right.
But we might put an extra one in.
Right. sounds like an extra one is a good idea.
A belt and
doesn't
braces
it?
sort of thing, but
Yeah.
it all depends on where the eagle tail finishes
Right.
to get the fixing in.
Right. These eagles are complicated. I mean, you know, I thought they would just come off, have a bit of super glue, back up
Yeah.
again, and the eagles are ready to go on the plinths. I heard that you might be going to oversee their installation on the plinths very soon.
But between me and Mike, we've got to be there because obviously he doesn't know the size of the plinths because obviously there's none left.
Yeah.
I know the size of the plinth, but
Yeah.
his legs might
Yeah.
be in a different aperture.
Right. So it's like some complicated Lego coming together.
Basically, we've
and
got to drill some
fitting-
holes, but he doesn't know where. I mean, obviously, where they were two,
Yeah.
and it fell over.
Yeah.
The legs were cut off to get
Yeah.
it down, so he's
Yeah.
put them back on, but they might be
Right.
in a
They
different.
might be out of sync, out
Yeah.
of alignment. So you're basically getting a template from the top and seeing what you can reuse.
Hopefully, the fixings are in two different places.
Yeah.
So obviously, we want to make sure the left eagle, if you're looking that way, the holes
Yeah.
are drilled in the plinth, that side correct, and the
Yeah.
right way up.
That's true.
And then this side, because their pins are slightly different, we want to make sure the right ones
is in the right side.
So we make sure the eagles are looking
the right way.
The right way.
It would be bad if they were both looking out that way, wouldn't they?
That's right, yeah, because they're both looking, as I can remember, looking in.
They are looking in.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not
So,
looking in,
but once-
possibly at each other. All right, well, this is very important that we match our eagles
Yeah.
perfectly. So these are the bases that the eagles are going to be going on. Those are the plinths.
Yeah, there's the plinths, yeah.
Yeah. So the plinths sit, because there's already a plinth there.
Yeah, that one's got to come off.
That
you
one's
know what I
going
mean?
to come off, and that one sits on top of that.
Yeah,
Is that going to match the stone over time? Will it weather to the same?
It's Portland stone, so obviously it will tone down. We might have to obviously
do a bit of
like
fancy
you say.
stuff. Yeah. Okay.
But obviously it's Portland that was up there, and the rest of
Yeah.
it's hamstone.
Yeah.
And so we're changing it like for like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Obviously they're going to be new pieces of stone.
Yeah.
Clean. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
of
But they're
course,
going to be the
that's
same age as what's up there anyway. So.
Yeah. Darren, I shall leave you be, and good luck with the fixtures on the top.
Yeah.
And not long now until the Eagles come back to Mapperton. And guess what? We are almost at our fundraising goal. We have done astonishingly well, and we're incredibly grateful for everybody who has supported this important return of a piece of England's heritage. If you're still interested in supporting Mapperton Eagles, please do go and find the link in the description down below, gofundme.com/Mapperton Eagles.
Everybody,
Yeah, okay.
we ready?
We're ready.
What are we doing today?
Take this flap down.
So we're going to reveal the bookcase that we didn't paint
Yeah.
because of the fragility of the books.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's going to look nice with the paint color. What do you
Yeah,
think?
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's good.
Yeah,
It's good, nice change.
Different.
So we're getting ready for the new American Heiress exhibition, everybody, and we're now going to see the state of the floors underneath. But I think they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all right. There's been nothing spilt on it.
No, and I don't think I need to necessarily do anything to
Yeah.
them. I'm going to have a little look. I might do a little,
Okay,
okay.
What we need to do first of all is to cut all the way around the bottom of there.
Yeah, with the box cutter. Yeah, I've got one.
But the idea is to leave that on there till last.
Okay.
Because there'll be dust on this floor.
Yep.
So I got a pair of scissors.
I've got a box cutter. Should I get a box cutter or no?
We just want to cut it about 150 mil off the floor.
Okay. Okay.
And then we can...
And then we can start to pull this away.
Pull this away and then leave that till last, and then we hoover the floor, then pull that down last, and there'll be no dust on the books.
And there'll be no dust on the books. All right, everybody, I just want to give a huge shout out to Raymond here, who so many of you absolutely adore anyway. But this wood burner is like, it looks brand new. Raymond, what did you do to make it look so spectacular?
Well, I washed it all off, washed the rust off, and then I've used the very, very old-fashioned stuff called zebrite, which our mums and dads used it years ago. You can still get it.
Mums and dads used it years ago.
It's a very good stuff. It's like a,
Well, it is good, because look at it.
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's all it needs, is a bit of zebrite every now and again. I've cleaned the glass, so...
I know, the glass. You can actually see through it, everybody. I can see my red boiler suit.
Yeah. Use it for a mirror.
You can... And then Darren, stonemason, amazing stonemason, has really tidied up the stone around the fireplace. It's great. What do you, Raymond? What do you think of the library?
I like it now. It's brought it up a bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to do that one day, are you?
Yeah, we'll paint that bookcase, everybody, the same color as the woodwork, but that was just going to be a bigger job because it's just, yeah.
Monumental job.
Yeah, it would have been a monumental job, but gosh, it's looking nice.
It looks nice when it's painted at the back, now.
Yeah, doesn't it?
It wouldn't finish along the top.
No, it does. It looks so much nicer. He's just about to see it, everybody. For the first time.
Well, it's the first time seeing the whole thing together. And wow, I mean, I think it's a big triumph. I think the wall colour, as we hoped, really reflects the stone. Oh my goodness. Look at the wood. Look at the wood burner.
That is Raymond.
Is that brand new? Looks brand new.
No, but it's Raymond who has done an outstanding...
We could fry some eggs on this, I think. Chris, you want to have some fried eggs on the wood burner?
Scrambled for me, please.
Scrambled, all right, they're coming your way. Look at this.
So we've taken, and you can see now how the colors work really well with the tan and this rich red leather that's on all of your wonderful forebears, journals and books. So I've got a little job for you.
She's got a job for me, that's okay.
Let's
carpet.
do this carpet. So
okay.
This is going to be the exhibition space, everybody, while we're open to the public. So we probably won't have these chairs in here. We'll move them out. But what I want to do now is just kind of get the space ready. I'm going to put the books back in these two bookshelves here. My A1 boards will be hanging 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will be covering the books. And then on top of the piano is where we'll have lots of different frames, which I've been sourcing at sort of charity shops of Alberta and her family. And then the display case is going to go here, and that will have her book of receipts, her journals. She's got 3 of them. Her diary, the Bible that she held as she walked down the aisle, and some of her letters that were really quite profound and moving and touching. And so 2 what we call portable display boxes over there. We'll have the display case here. And then we're gonna have a really exciting mannequin that's being made now, because it's a proper preservation sort of mannequin that will, her Fortuné dress will go on, which I recently discovered.
It's going to be an amazing exhibition. So make sure if you are anywhere near the UK, and even if you're not, hop on a flight, come over and see the American Heiress. So I have got one little special request. Because the exhibition isn't starting for a couple of weeks, can we just get this back to being a library for a weekend?
Yeah, for a weekend. And then
For a weekend!
For a
hooray!
weekend. Okay.
Right, so we've got new armchairs, we've got carpets, we've got the leather sofa out there. That's kind of all we need.
Well, I'll put the books back on as well, because then they need to go in and make it. Yeah. Okay, let's get going.
sitting in the library, enjoying a good book. Right, there we go. It's not often, but sometimes at Mapperton everything goes to plan, and that has been the case with the return of the Eagles. It was touch and go for a while with the timing, but now they've been repaired and they have finally flown home with the help of our local removals firm. With about half a ton of lead, they are certainly a little heavier than a sofa. Stage 1 complete?
Yeah. Stage 2, a bit scarier. My pigeon.
That's it. What's scary about stage 2?
Oh, gravity.
Gravity. Gravity's always scary, isn't it? But look at them, they look magnificent. And these are the bits of stone that you've prepared to put them on. And so what happens, Darren, in stage 2?
Stage 2, we're going to put the right-hand eagle on first, because that's the gate post with the least issues. And then obviously once we know how that works, it makes the second one easier, because this one is weighted backwards, which has got a bit of movement, and obviously this one has got a little bit less sort of thing. So we've got to get them up on the scaffold, swing them across, make longer fixes to go down to the gate post, and then obviously land them down, make sure that we haven't got no movement or anything, lift them back up again, and then fix them down with a cement. So a little bit of, not trial and error, just obviously up and down, and making sure that they land how we want them, you know what I mean? And then job's done.
Job's done. Job will be done. Well, I'm sure that bit is going to go smoothly. And when is stage 2 starting?
Got to prep the gate post down on the left-hand side to take the existing cap off. Obviously, I would want to catch Mike before he goes, because I want to know his availability, because they can come from here to there.
Right. Right.
It will be sometime this week. Time-wise, I don't know, because obviously we haven't.
Depends on what everybody's doing.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. All right. Darren, thank you. And with the scaffold now in place, Darren is able to do some final bits of intricate stonework on the first gate pier. Using a pulley system, they're able to hoist the first eagle back up onto the top of the gate pier, ready to be screwed into position. And thankfully, that went exactly to plan.
Both eagles are up and they look great, and it's really quite emotional because this has been almost 2 years that they both well, one had kind of, you know, went face down, if you like, and then we realized when we were taking it down that the other one had corroded and needed to be repaired as well, or it was about to topple. So they just look so majestic and so vibrant and alive, and very happy to be back, you know, protecting Mapperton and also welcoming guests and visitors to Mapperton as well. So I have to say it's so exciting. So we'll be putting a sheet over them once the scaffolding comes down, and some of our top donors are coming to Mapperton, flying all the way over from America, flying over here, staying with us in the house. We We have lots of exciting events planned, good dinners as well, fun dinners, and then we'll be doing a proper unveiling of the eagles, which is so exciting. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who have kindly supported us here on our channel, Mapperton Live, and also those of you who have kindly and generously donated to the Eagles Fund. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Finally, the scaffolding is taken away, and we then covered the eagles ready for their grand unveiling in front of our very important American guests. These wonderful people helped support the cost of the repairs and have themselves flown over to witness this historical Mapperton moment. There was an amazing thunderstorm. I don't know if you remember that night, but we came down in the morning and it had been pouring with rain, which it does frequently these days. And we discovered that the right-hand eagle had leant forward on his perch and was looking really precarious. And of course, the gardens were still open at that time. So we instantly got a scaffold together and we thought, oh my goodness, there goes all of 2023's restoration budget on one eagle. That was until we got up on the top of the scaffold and discovered that the second eagle was in exactly the same precarious state. And they both had to come down, and they came down very quickly a couple of days later. And we thought, goodness, what are we going to do? Who can help us? And I think through Darren originally, Mike, we got in touch with you, and the eagles were all loaded onto a lorry and taken to your workshop. And you've spent, a good couple of months putting them back together again. And then we thought, well, how on earth are we going to pay for this? Because this is an absolutely astonishing amount of money that we've got to raise. And so we thought, well, we'll see what our patrons and our YouTube audience are able to do to support us. And amazingly, a number of people stepped forward and contributed to the Mapperton Eagles Restoration Fund on GoFundMe, and many of you here today have done a fantastic job of supporting this project. So the first thing I wanted to do was really to thank our donors and supporters for getting the eagles back up, and indeed to Mike for doing all of the work that was necessary to get them back into shape. So thank you all. Thank you, Ron.
Woo!
To the eagles.
To the eagles.
3, 2, 1. It's not coming well. Okay, yeah, one's down.
Woo!
Yay!
Okay, I don't want to pull too hard. Oh, there it's coming.
Oh.
Keep going.
It's coming.
It's kind of that. Oh, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes.
If I do it this way, I might catch the wind. Right, I'm going to climb up here and help this one out.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
There's always one. Yeah, I'm getting this on. There he goes. Okay.
Okay, I think if you keep going.
Okay. Nearly. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Somebody can unveil me now. Right. There we go. Excellent.
I wouldn't have had it any other way. Woo!